So which celebrity advised his teenage self to take more showers? The answer was Sir Ranulph Fiennes.
So then, if you could pen a letter to your 16-year-old self, what would you write? Nick, Stephen and Kay's thoughts in a sec. Yours too on the usual number, please, 0207 173 5555. This is the theme of a new book called Dear Me. It's in aid of the Sir Elton John AIDS Foundation. It's a great charity. And in it, a host of stars have scribbled a missive to their 16-year-old selves. And the results range from the hilarious to frankly, very moving. Jackie Collins, who was here the other day, she warns herself to stay away from men who say, "Trust me." 4 times wed Patsy Kensit, she wrote, "Don't marry the lead singer of every band you've had a poster of." Alan Carr warned himself that puppy fat lasts for life. If you had a chance then to write a letter to the person you were when you were 16, what would you wear? Wear a condom. Don't believe her if she says she's on the pill. One day you'll realise Bros were never cool. Work harder at school. Don't have that first drink. It'll lead to a lifetime of misery. Nick?
Well, when we said we were going to talk about this, my immediate thought was, well, that's what dads are for.
Oh, beautifully said.
Your dad is yours. I'm looking forward to, you know, at some point in my life, being able to say to my 16-year-old son, "No, don't do that," or you know, that don't necessarily believe this, or you know, you can cajole them for.
And I think brilliant point.
And I think that's it's quite sad that you have to write a letter to yourself. I mean,
it's I think it's a nice idea.
But I do have to say, by the same token, the reason I'm in this position where I am today, sat on this show, right, is because I completely ignored every advice I was given as a 16-year-old. You know, and if I had listened to people, then I wouldn't have got expelled. I wouldn't have ended up at drama school. I wouldn't have ended up doing what I did. So, and I did it despite everyone going, "No, don't do that."
So it could be stick to your guns.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to write a letter to myself when I was 30 and tell myself to stop being such a knob, you know, and really, and that's what I'd like to write to my 30-year-old self and say, "No, this is what you should do, and this is how you should behave." So really, for me, it's 15 years too late.
I hadn't even thought. It's brilliant, actually. It's actually 16 might not be the right time. It could be later. What about you, Kate?
Oh, I'm going to go with Nick on this in that I think you've got to make mistakes. That is part of that growing up period, and you just cannot circumvent that. But I mean, I know that's not what the book's really saying. So I suppose I would say to myself, smile. My 16-year-old self. I was very kind of intense, took things very, very seriously. Everything was kind of, you know, a battle. And I think I'd just say lighten up a wee bit.
It's quite interesting because I mean, quite a lot of the people that write in the books have quite a soft approach, i.e. they must... I would deduce from that they are quite contented 16-year-olds and quite contented adults. It's not like change, 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 or don't do this, don't do that. A lot of it is actually, you know, carry on, life ain't so bad.
Nick says it. I mean, I've never thought about it before. My 7-year-old is so like me. I know, pity the poor wee thing. She thinks the same as me. I can see myself in her, and it's the spookiest thing. And she'll say things to me, and I can remember saying that and feeling that and thinking that when I was that age. It's such a strange experience. It's a lovely experience, but it's really strange.
What would you write, Steve?
Well, I think it's a really cute little book, and I think Nick is... I totally agree with Nick as well. I think that the question is, what would you write to yourself when you're 30? Because by that point, you've had so many experiences and made so many mistakes that, you know what I mean, you should have learned by then. If you haven't, then who knows what's around the corner.
Good point, it is a good point.
At 16, you know, the only thing I can remember was I had the most hideous fashion sense. I used to wear a silver jacket with shoulder pads out here. My hair was straightened down to there. I thought I looked...
Have you got photos?
Tomorrow. That's not happening.
Tomorrow.
No, it's not happening.
Tomorrow.
And the
Call his mum, call his mum.
The letter would have simply said, "Steve, look in the mirror. Don't go out the front door. What do you think you're doing?" Because at 16, you know, you're allowed to make mistakes and, you know, things happen and, you know, you just live your life.
I've been trying to think all morning. I've only come up with really boring things like don't smoke, but it sounds such a trivial thing. When I see teenagers smoking, I just think of the misery and the years that I've spent hating myself trying to stop and eventually getting there.
But you can't tell them. You can't.
You can't. You can't
tell them.
You can't because they're too busy hiding the sausage. Surely some mistake. Let's throw it open to you. What would you write to your teenage self? Kirsty, what would you write to your teenage self?
You'll grow into your teeth.
That's what she did.
We have Sue online too.
Sweet. Sue, good morning.
Hello.
Hello there. What would you write to your teenage self, Sue?
I would have told myself to love myself, basically.
Oh.
No, it's not a sad thing. It's just that, like, so many sort of like young teenagers, sort of like they're so eager to be loved.
Yeah, no,
And because of that, they make mistakes. And it's those mistakes that lead to other mistakes. You're so hungry to be loved by someone because you haven't had the greatest, maybe, childhood or something.
Maybe.
It's the mistakes that lead on to it because you're looking to be loved by someone, where it's important to love yourself.
Absolutely. Self-love. I'm well up for that.
That's quite a nice, lovely point there, because, you know, 14, 15, 16, that's your years of developing, adolescence kicking in, sexuality. So maybe it's a little note just to go, it'll be OK.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
whoever I am, it'll be OK.
Yeah. Trust your instincts. Yeah. Don't give that DNA sample to the Rozzers. It'll lie on your file forever. What about our audience, Eric?
OK, next to me, Sam. Sam,
Morning,
what would
Sam.
you write to your 16-year-old self?
I had the chance to be a glam model and I wish I'd pursued it, but I just let it go and it's stupid. You think time's on your side and it's not, and you need to grab every opportunity.
That's a really,
Really
time.
do, yeah.
I think that's something that the older you get, the more aware of
Yeah,
time you
finally
become.
have my head on now, then. It's crazy.
It's extraordinary, actually. I mean, I was thinking about the Remembrance Day, and I can remember what a bolshy, horrible, nasty little teenager I was in terms of talking to my granddad, who was a desert rat, and thinking, oh, the war, it's nothing to do with me. And you think, oh, God, the stupidity that came out of my mouth. Yeah, brilliant. Let's have one more call.
We have Rob on line 1.
Rob, good morning. Morning, Rob.
Good morning to you.
What would you write to yourself?
I would say, dear Rob,
Good start.
the chances are you will fall in love soon.
Say again?
But don't think it will just because you fall out, it'll all be over. I'm in my 60s now, and I still think every day about this girl.
Oh, Rob! Well, on that heartbreaking note, it's all over, folks. No more time for any more calls. Many, many thanks for those of you that did ring in, and many, many thanks to this guy here, Nick, champion of British film. This movie Telstar proves that, and a bloody good guest as well, sir.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Kay and Stephen, till tomorrow. Your appreciation, ladies and gentlemen. Nice one, guys.